Hi, I'm Cam. It's nice to meet y'all. Every day there's hundreds of new people subscribing to the channel. So I figured we should rewind a little bit and define something for everybody. In December of 2023, I launched my first episode of a series I later called Deep Dives. It was called The Rise of FUBU Scammers, Black-owned multi-level marketing companies. Crazy long name. That term, FUBU Scammers, I invented that. I didn't know it at the time, but if you search it on YouTube, I'm literally the only one who's used it. For anybody who didn't live through the 90s, let me explain. FUBU is, or was, a clothing brand launched by 4 Queens natives. According to them, even though the acronym spells out "for us, by us," it wasn't meant to be a race thing. It's a hip-hop thing. The most famous founder is Damon John, one of the judges from Shark Tank. He has his own FUBU Scammers episode due to the fact that he's used his clout to scam seminar attendees and Shark Tank contestants who trusted him with their businesses. I'll link that below. We gotta keep it pushing. FUBU scammers are Black people who run scams or exploitative, unethical schemes, at least partially targeting their own people. It's important to stress that even though scammer has a definition, I made this term up. So I'm telling you that it includes things that are technically legal, but morally unsound. Multi-level marketing companies, for example, are literally pyramid schemes with products on top. And they're only legal because they lobby the government to look the other way. To address some of my haters directly, yes, I talk about white scammers all the time. Most of them happen to be politicians. As for the street-level white scammers, white YouTubers with a lot more subscribers than me, got them covered. My world is black. Stop asking me to talk about everybody else. In this video, we're gonna run through the Mount Rushmore of red flags that should let you know someone's a scammer before you even take their course or pay for their products. If you see one or more of these red flags, don't give that person any money. To drive the message home, I'm gonna use examples from the influencers we've covered already in prior episodes of the FUBU Scammer series. And one I haven't covered yet, to prove my point that it doesn't require super deep investigation. Here's the top 5 red flags in no particular order. Overpromising and underdelivering, too many typos and weird statements, high pressure sales and exaggerated value, bullshit products and services, and cult of personality / affiliation with other grifters. Before we dive into all that, we gotta protect your data real quick with longtime channel sponsor, Aura. This will take less than a minute. Time me. First up, I log in for the first time in a minute to see a couple of charges from the past couple months. That's my $12 Dunkin' Donuts airport order in Boston. Good looking out. Aura Intelligence helps me resolve these and ask questions if I got them. Then it's on to the next. I want to see what's up with these data brokers I asked Aura to remove last time. If you don't know what a data broker is, here's the definition. They can get your data sold off to spammers, scammers, and everything in between. Aura tracks which ones are no longer an issue, so I can have that peace of mind. I have no desire to get my channels jacked by some teen in a basement with all my info. Side note, I recognize LiveRamp and Merkle from my ad agency days. Those two are huge advertising platforms. Aura does a lot more than this. We'll check out my slightly decreased credit score next time. To protect yours, use my link aura.com/CamJames right now. FUBU Scammer red flags. Let's get it. One easy to spot red flag is when people promise the world and deliver way less. Sometimes this one takes investigation, but often all it takes is observation and some surface level research to catch. We're gonna start with a business model that takes this overpromising and underdelivering to the absolute extreme. MLMs. As I said earlier, these are pyramid schemes with extra steps. They're always a red flag. They do have an actual product or service, which is only really there to avoid legal liability and rack up revenue from the salespeople. By that, I mean if you work for this company, you're gonna be the real customer when you cop the starter product packs you think you're about to sell. There's 2 ways to make money. Option 1 is to be a broke boy and try to sell water filters, tummy tea, or makeup. Option 2 is to recruit people to increase how much you make in enrollment fees. Founders and early recruits on top of the pyramid make the most money because they have the chance to have everyone else underneath them. Any company that incentivizes recruitment over sales is a pyramid scheme in disguise. In episode 1 of Deep Dives, we talked about iBoomerang, a Black-owned multi-level marketing company founded by Houghton Buggs, a larger-than-life MLM industry vet with several scams on his resume, including a Ponzi scheme called IQ Chain that was offering a trading bot called B2X89. How good was his bot? 160% ROI, like clockwork, according to their marketing at least. Guaranteed profits are always a red flag because they literally can't deliver on that expectation. Herbalife's own income disclosure statement says over 95% of participants lose money every year. Bruh, what? Here's the pay structure for commissions and the structure for bonuses. The familiar triangle payment structures are red as hell. And they literally drew a motherfucking pyramid. Plenty of MLMs are technically legal though, because they lobby the government to keep it that way. It's on you to catch it when somebody traps you in the bread aisle at the store, telling you how your only way out of poverty is slanging milkshake powder to your aunties. They might call their industry direct sales, network marketing, relationship selling, social selling, word of mouth selling, or like 15 other bullshit nicknames. They're hella desperate and might even pretend to interview you for a real sales position, then pull the okie doke. Have you outside trying to flip insurance plans door to door in a random suburb? I'm not making that up. It happened to me. While we're on the topic of overpromising and underdelivering, I'm pretty sure Dr. Umar said he was going to open that school for black boys several times already. Before I say anything else, I'm going to be very clear. Umar falls on the unethical side of this discussion, not the illegal side. I already made a full video about all this last year. And in the months since making that, the school's been up for auction and back off of auction, reportedly. Between telling all his followers to hit the Cash App and raising millions for a school that still hasn't opened a decade after he started collecting donations, to falsely claiming he had Frederick Douglass's blood multiple times.
Never claimed to be a descendant of Frederick Douglass, nor do I have to be. I'm a descendant of Frederick Douglass's first cousin, a gentleman by the name of Stephen Henry Bailey.
The internet is a beautiful thing. I hate to do this to you, my guy, but I found this video of you early on in your career promoting a speaking engagement in New York. And in this video, you claim you're Douglass's grandnephew. So are you descended from his first cousin or are you his grandnephew? Both of those can't be true.
Even when there's a pro and a con, they're both conning us.
Yes.
Douglass's family has very clearly shut this down. And even though Johnson has claimed he wasn't saying he was descended from Douglass, what the hell does he think paternal kinsman means?
I am a blood relative of Frederick Douglass. We have a family reunion every 2 years. I have more videos on YouTube than any other scholar. I speak around the world more than any other scholar. Show me where I've ever said I was a descendant. I've only claimed one thing, kinsman.
He's been waving flags for a long time now. Typos are a part of life. I'm a perfectionist, and I make them too. Just way less than most people. The problem with excessive typos starts when your site is explicitly trying to convince people to buy a masterclass or sell tickets to events. And I can't scroll more than a paragraph without another one jumping off the page. Everybody's favorite YouTube hotep, 19 Keys, has by far the worst and most website typos I've ever seen. And it's really not close. I genuinely don't think he or his team has looked at this site longer than it takes to update ticket links and leave. Despite the design being competent and relatively cohesive, scrolling down the page to see that 19 Keys is one of the most influential thought leaders and our time is hilarious. Scroll back up and creator is missing an S. Jump to the high-level membership promo page and wealth is spelled wrong. The became he and entrepreneur has the U and E swapped at the end. 3 out of 4 of these blocks are fucked up. I'm gonna leave the rest for the expose I do on him when I get around to it, but there's like 9 more on the site itself. Keep in mind, this page is supposed to have you salivating at the chance to join his free special club, which inevitably leads to you donating to get more access. I'm adding weird statements to this section since that's in the same family of strange site decisions that you got to get better at recognizing if you want to avoid falling for these. When I covered Lydia Covington's She Scrubs with Love company in the first episode, It's an MLM that sells people on the dream of becoming a millionaire by selling nursing uniforms independently. I called her out for saying there's over 9 dedicated staff. So how many is it? 10? 27? Fuck is you talking about? And that wasn't just a joke. Weird amateurish statements like that are a dead giveaway that, at best, this person is lazy and stretching for something impressive sounding to fill her site with, and that's just what she settled on. At worst, she legitimately thought that was a solid point to brag about, which, yikes. I covered the sensei of grifters, Myron Golden, at the end of last year. He wasn't very happy about that, but I have no regrets. The whole exchange where I barbecued him alive in the comment section before he deleted his comment is on Patreon. He's another one who's on the unethical side, not the illegal side. Anyway, I call him the sensei of grifters because he's a former MLM promoter and consultant.
Thank you for joining us on MLMSuccessTV.com. Are you ready to make it to the top?
Who sells educational programs designed to teach consultants and course sellers, including MLM participants, how to become more effective at taking your money via psychological manipulation and high-pressure sales techniques. More than one of the people I've covered in the FUBU Scammers series clearly paid thousands of dollars to take his courses because their strategies and free masterclass structures are the exact same. Also, they mentioned that they took his courses. I'm not making this up. Here's comments proving that I was right. There's one course, a 5-day course by the Option Sniper, who admitted that he paid Myron up to $50,000 for mentoring. There's another one that's about crafting, and the person who commented told me that that person hosting the 5-day challenge paid Myron $80,000. I was right. He is creating all of this. Terry Ishiyama, Paris Smith, the Option Sniper, this crafting person, they're all taking his course and then running to us to pull us into the funnel and to take from us more resources than we have. Besides the fact that he's a former pastor with a very questionable church doctorate who interlaces God into his business coaching, which is weird by itself. We had to dive into his site to find the gems. In the section about his King Solomon's Court program, named after the wealthy biblical king, we're getting cult vibes with the teasing of access into his inner circle. Inside, he sells you on unlocking the business principles of the richest man who ever lived and uses the top-tier red flag phrase, elite mastermind. You see those 2 words anywhere, please run. On the page for his VIP Plus Day program, we see a testimonial from one of his most successful students, Dr. Sandra Stribling. She's basically become the gender-swapped version of him after taking his course. She's just way less successful on YouTube. I say doctor loosely once again, since her PhD is from Capella University, a for-profit diploma mill that was named in a class action lawsuit with top-tier colleges like DeVry. Looks like we might need to talk about misleading PhDs in the future. As I mentioned before, all these sites are the same. Myron Golden, Terry Ishiyama, Paris Smith, 19 Keys, all of them have one thing in common. Too much noise. It's like being drowned in somebody's fan mail, constantly gassing themselves up, constantly jabbing at your insecurities, reinforcing the supremacy of their knowledge and community, and throwing out crazy value claims for their programs so they can slash the price and make you feel the warm fuzzies. Kind of like how stores charge the same price or more for Black Friday and try to act like it's a sale. In my recent episode about Paris Smith, I dove deep into this value prop switch up. The video pointed out how she's a student of Myron's. On her IG, we see these posts advertising a 5-day challenge, another concept she got directly from Myron. His main hustle is called the Make More Offers Challenge, which I took twice during our investigation. Like everything else that's free, these programs get you in the sales funnel, then slowly hit you with way more expensive offers towards the end, so you can actually learn what you came for. Maybe. As mentioned in Myron's video, I'll be clear that his free material on YouTube teaches useful things, which is why I call him the sensei. Training others to drain their community's resources is arguably just as bad as running an actual scam in my book. This is an important distinction since Myron targets business people as his primary customers, while everyday people are his secondary market. Everyone he trains, though, like Paris, targets everyday people as their primary market. Your friends, your family. Antonio, who talks about crypto too much at your job. Your cousin Shanice, who's trying to find a way out of that warehouse job. What they all have in common is taking advantage of everyday people who can't really afford all this manipulation. A prime example of the value prop switch up in Paris's case. This segment from the episode about what her courses are worth. Each one of these comes with a completely made up price tag of several $1,000s, adding up to $25K. But of course, just like Myron teaches people to do, she surprises us with a limited time discount.
I'm not even gonna pay $5,000. I got y'all, okay? I got y'all, promise you. Okay, instead, the complete investment is just $299.7.
Next, we got this clip that I'll never stop playing from Myron, where he drops a $27,000 price tag while encouraging people to withdraw money from their retirement accounts.
It's not a $27,000 decision today. Well, it is a $27,000 decision, but you don't need $27,000 today. So you can borrow it from your retirement or from an insurance policy.
I don't really have words for this shit. Crypto altcoins, mindset mastery, drop shipping, masculinity coaching, health supplements, energy drinks, flat tummy tea, waist trainers, chakra alignment services, and 1,000 more pointless products that make it easy for a company to either scam you outright or blame you when they don't work. 19 Keys, as an example, partners with what I assume are independent companies, selling shit like Supermind coffee and Goldie water, Gold alkaline water that promises health benefits and preys on your spirituality and or ignorance. I can't really tell the difference most of the time. The Supermind coffee is supposed to be for high-performing executives and has cordyceps in it. So if you ever wanted to eat zombie fungus in the morning, I got excellent news. I can make fun of these products all day, but I specifically want to call attention to the blatant lies on the science section of the site. They built a whole page about the research behind their super coffee and claimed 2,000 fake scientific studies and research papers you can't click on, fake data about the effectiveness of the product, and fake doctors co-signing it on the bottom. I looked them up. None of these motherfuckers are real. There's a whole Medium article about how often Dr. Sarah Chin gets generated by AI in all kinds of jobs. She's not real. They're playing in your face. And yes, 19 Keys is responsible for the products he promotes. This isn't some passive partnership. Holton Buggs, founder of iBoomerang, came from the MLM Organo Gold, another one selling coffee, promising bullshit health benefits. Financial influencer and former reality TV dating show star Swaggy C offered stock signals via a paid Telegram group and was called out multiple times by clients for the complete unreliability and failure of his predictions. This YouTuber from the episode did the opposite of whatever he called out and ended up more successful overall. YouTuber Alex Trading Reviews already exposed him for lying about not losing a trade in 50 days. Giving ineffective advice to the point where the opposite strategy would be profitable, and the general bullshit these influencers do when it comes to providing trading signals. Hopefully this has been illuminating for y'all so far. If there's any segment I want you to retain, though, it's this one. We gotta stop falling for the performance. These grifters, scammers, and manipulators are able to build these massive networks due to their personas. Anyone who's familiar with any of these people I've discussed will notice a through line. Their personalities are larger than life. Most are loud, many are charismatic, a few are funny to y'all, and many of them are crafty when it comes to funneling people from being a complete stranger to becoming a loyal customer who hangs on, trying to get closer to reaching their perceived level. Tariq Nasheed, the creator of the trademarked foundational Black American lineage and online community, is a prime example of this phenomenon. He's a loud, brash, ignorant figurehead representing the pain and disenfranchisement of a small subsection of Black Americans with a very loud internet presence, especially in my comment sections. I covered his multi-level grift in a prior episode. And the thing I notice every time I do one of these investigations is that the influencers at the top have the entire cult leader starter pack, ignoring facts in favor of convenient lies, encouraging people to ostracize outsiders and non-believers, creating their own internal lingo that makes their followers feel like family, and constantly drowning us in content nobody asked for to make sure we can't forget that they exist and to make money. I often get exhausted just making these episodes since each one of them has made so many videos and podcasts that I have to go through. I haven't even investigated 19 Keys yet, and I have 90 hours of shit to watch when I finally get around to it. They never stop talking, and every time they talk, there's more lies for me to go through. I suffer so much for y'all. It's difficult for concise truth to defeat an avalanche of shotgun lies. We love habitual liars in America. Just look at the president. Every time you encounter someone pretending to be a serious business person or career guide who feels more like a talk show host or professional streamer, your antenna need to be up. If they're taking pictures with Grant Cardone and bragging about sharing stages with Tony Robbins, your antenna need to be twitching.
So he learned how to trade and apply the strategy, and now he spends his winters in Dubai.
And when they've been booked 4 times on The Breakfast Club because their drama keeps viewers tuned in, you gotta pick up the signs. Wake up, pay attention, and learn the skills you need to learn in other ways that won't cost you a mortgage. Let your celebrity worship die. To help with that, with this episode, I'm introducing the Deep Dives Resource Library, a living document with a list of free or extremely affordable ways to learn skills and advance your career in all the various industries we've covered on the channel, dating back to episode 1. I don't know everything, and it's always a work in progress. So I created a Google form for viewers to submit suggestions. If it makes sense, we'll add it to that industries page. The economy is trash. Our government is being weaponized against us by the worst senior citizens and Gen Xers of all time. And it's cold as outside. We all need to do our part to protect each other from exploitation and build community. To the people featured in this video and their fans, who will undoubtedly be in the comments section complaining, here's my response. I put a lot of work into it, and I think it shows you the respect you deserve. 2 years ago, in this exact spot, I kicked off my YouTube video essay journey. And some of y'all have been there since day one. If you've been there since then, or since this moment right now, I owe you everything for what I've been able to turn into my livelihood. This is something I've worked towards for a decade plus. I was a musician, I was a videographer, and I smashed them together to create this product, this presentation, this series of educational entertainment videos. And I'm just now kicking into a gear that I've never been able to access before, and it's all because y'all stayed with me for all this time. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for showing up time and time again as I figured out what I'm even here for, what I'm here to provide, and sticking by me when I essentially have the entire internet turn on me from time to time. My commitment to you is to continue to chase down the truth, to continue to let the research speak for itself, and to continue to have no mercy towards those who do harm to people who look like me and beyond. To everybody on Patreon, I'm sure y'all been seeing, I've been dropping a lot more exclusives, and there's a lot more to come. There's one connected to this episode as well. I'll see y'all real soon, and please check out the resource library when you get a chance. Holla.